Another job I want to do is I want to get the MG out because the current bun's in the sky. That failed its MOT last year, so I need to pull that out and do a couple of bits on that. And I don't know if you can see, the rope is attached to the turbo. I'm going to bring this out. It needs an exhaust and it needs using. It's no good it's sitting here. So I'm going to pull it in, get it in the workshop, get it on the lift, check out make sure that obviously the belt's okay, probably do an oil change, or maybe we'll run it up first and then do an oil change, but I just want to double check the belt and everything like that before I turn the key. So I'm going to pull it in the workshop. Right, so anyone who's new here who doesn't know what this is a 1994, I think if I remember rightly, Rover 420 GSI Sport Turbo. So it's got the 2-litre turbo engine from the same that's in the 600 Ti, the 800 Vitesse, and obviously they put them in these, and the 220 Coupe and the 200 as well. So this is the 400 version. I have had this for years, probably 15 years I think I've had this. Yeah, so it's been in the barn forever. Main reasons are the brakes kept seizing on and I could not get new carriers anywhere. But a long while ago, I don't know if you remember, I brought in a green MG ZR with the 160 brakes because I fitted 160 brakes on this years ago. Well, the reason I bought that was because he bought brand new calipers and carriers all round. So I have now got a full set of brakes to go on this. They're not going to be orange. I can paint them later, but at least it gets it moving. Also, it came off the road because it had crusty rear arches. You can see this one hasn't been done yet. It's not that bad at the moment. The new panel is in there. This one has been done, so it needs painting, and therefore the skirts can go back on. But I was reluctant to use it, A, because of the brakes, obviously, but B, because when I restored it and had it all painted, it was immaculate, and I was scared to drive it, and it was ridiculous. So my decision now is, it's been long enough, it's been immaculate, I'm not too worried anymore, I just want to start using it. So let me open it up and jack it up, and I'll show you what I've done. Right, so under here is the T16 turbo engine. As you can see, it's filthy now, but I put all new Samco hoses on it, put an induction kit on it, painted everything, had the subframes powder coated. Yeah, I've done loads, absolutely loads, but yeah, it all looks a bit minging now. We've obviously got a bit of an oil leak. Obviously these hoses I couldn't get in blue, or I couldn't get them ones in black or whatever, so there is a bit of a mix and a match, unfortunately, because obviously bits for these are getting hard to come by. We've got obviously painted and restored all the radiator frame, etc. So that's all right, that's all good, I think. I'm not sure if the turbo's on its way out, because when I was last running it, it was quite smoky. How does this look? Because obviously, I mean, these don't suffer really from head gasket failure, but there's no water in there. So there must be a leak somewhere. So we need to sort that out. Right, let me jack it up and show you underneath. Right, again, so underneath, all the subframes are all powder coated. All the anti-roll bars and link bars and all the bars were all painted or powder coated. I can't remember which, it's been so long. I had new arms on it. Underneath was all taken back and completely cleaned and painted, but as you can see, it's all started coming off now, so we're going to have to give it a bit more love. I think the exhaust is blown as another reason. Can't remember, I think it's gone on the join or the back box somewhere. So yeah, the tank will come out, that was all painted, anti-roll bars, underneath, the whole lot was done. But where it's been sat so long, it now looks pretty naff. Well, it doesn't look naff, but it doesn't look very clean as it used to be. So yeah, I think now's the time to actually use it and not worry about all this anymore. It is what it is. I need to obviously sort that out because that's all, the under seal's all peeled off there. For whatever reason, obviously we must have had it up on the lift at some point and it's ruined it, so I need to sort that out. Yeah, what have we got under here? There's obviously a leak somewhere. We've got oil there, so we need to check that. So yeah, we need to check all the fluids, make sure we're all right. Obviously there's no water in it, so we need to find out where that's gone. And I just want to take the cover off and check the cam belt before we put any power to it. Right, I've got this lower cover off. Let's give it a turn over and make sure it turns. It's a 19, right? There is a bit of oil around the cooler fittings here, so I might just nip them up while it's off, give that a clean up. The filter looks like it's quite minging, but I've checked the oil and it's nice and clean, so I don't know if we need to really, but I definitely need to clean this up. So let's have a go. Oh yeah. Oh, compression, there we go. So yeah, it's turning. That's good. Ooh. Right, yeah, that's turned over fine, that's good. So the water hasn't disappeared into the cylinders by the feels of it, but we will have the plugs out and have a quick look. I'm just going to quickly clean all this up. So yeah, that filter's new and it's tight by hand, so that's all right. Oh, that nipped up a little bit. Don't think we're going to get in there with the oil filter on. Right, so the belt all looks good in there. I'll put Magna Core leads on it when I built it, and you can see down there the plug is brand new because obviously I haven't done anything since I've had it. So I'm just going to whip a plug out and just have a little look and see where we're at, you know, just to double check. Okay, I've put a bit of water on. No, I've put a bit of water in. I've put a battery on. So I think there's nothing else to it really, is there? Let's just have a go. Right, we've got ignition lights. There she is. Okay, she's running. So the head of the tank is filling up, which makes me wonder whether we've got a blocked hose and it's obviously not getting round, but it's still coming back into the header tank. So I think maybe we need to pull the hoses off and do a bit of a coolant flush, I think. That's probably my next job. Right, as suspected, this pipe is blocked. So yeah, it's blocked around here somewhere. I've put compressed air up it, can't clear it. Put welding wire in, it gets to here, comes down, gets to about here. So there is something blocking it in this corner. So I think the only option is to take it off and maybe backfill it with brake cleaner and see whether that disintegrates whatever's in there. I couldn't unblock that metal pipe. I had it, had a load of brake cleaner on it overnight. I know it evaporates, so it probably wasn't in there for very long, but I still can't get the welding wire through it. I don't know what else to do, because obviously they're not readily available really. I'll have to have a look at, see if I can find one. So at the minute, I've just run a bit of plastic pipe around. I'll cable tie it to that in a minute, but I just want to get it running, get the water flowing and make sure everything's all right. So let's connect the battery back up and fire her up. Right, she's been running for a bit. The header tank hasn't filled up like it did yesterday with the block pipe. I presume it was back feeding, because I would expect it to be blocked somewhere else and then that pipe filling that up, but it wasn't. So it's been running for a while now. The temperature gauge is at halfway, so I think that's all right. But you can just see there, ignore that, that was from yesterday on the engine, but that, it is dripping, and the rad looks like it has a pinhole in it. So I've got to try and get a radiator for it. So yeah, not ideal, but I can keep it running for a bit just to make sure everything's running through as it should. It sounds really tappy on camera, but in person it's not. So I don't know why that is. There is a tiny hydraulic tap in there, which I'm hoping with a bit of use it might get a bit less tappy. But on the camera it sounds horrendous, but in person it doesn't. So yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it for a little bit. I've just put the cap back on so the system can pressurise, and then we'll see whether that rad hole explodes or what. But yeah, the plastic pipe's doing its job for the moment anyway. So I'm going to leave it running for a bit and I'll come back to you. I've literally just turned the camera off, and hopefully that will transfer over onto the video. That tappet noise has completely stopped now. So yeah, the oil's obviously got round. I've noticed that has raised a little bit, but it is the expansion tank, so you would expect it to expand a little bit. But yeah, I'm just going to keep a very close eye on it for the time being. But at least that's stopped tapping now. I thought it might. Oh, and the fans have just come on as well, so it's obviously getting up to temperature. Good timing. And now it's been running a bit as well. The smoke has stopped, so maybe it was just residual in there. Maybe the turbo hasn't gone, but the exhaust is blowing here. So it's the back box that's gone. I can't find it now, but I did find a hole a second ago. It's there somewhere anyway. Maybe it's this side. Yeah, there it is there. So the back box has a big hole in it. So we'll have to see what we can sort out for that. I'll go and see if I've got anything in stock. I'd like to put the stainless one on off of the BRM really. I was hoping it would break and then I could use the exhaust, the centre section definitely. Obviously the rear box is probably too short, but I don't know. I don't know how much longer it is, whether it is just in the tailpipe or whether it is all of this as well, because the wheelbase should be the same. So it should come over. So I wonder whether it is just the tailpipe, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that's blowing, but yeah, it's no longer smoking, which is good. The fans have come on and off, which is good. We have got to check this gearbox level though, because obviously there's a bit of oil coming from somewhere. I'm not quite sure whether it's out of here or out of the rocker cover. I think looking up there, I mean you can't see, but the top of the bell housing is wet, so I'm wondering whether it's the rocker cover and it's leaking down. I'll have to just check the gearbox fluid. But yeah, everything else seems all right. I'm not sure whether that rad is leaking, because where I took the pipe off to bleed it, I'm wondering whether it's just that, because we're not getting anything out now. But I suppose if it's a pinprick, it might be evaporating by the time it actually drips. But she seems all right, to be fair. All right, so I've turned her off for now. I'll wait and see what that water does, whether it starts to drip out of the rad. And obviously we need to sort a pipe out. This isn't great. It's obviously not supposed to be water pipe, but it's done the job just for testing. I need to sort a pipe out for that. This was axle breather pipe, which obviously I cleaned out first, so it's a bit soft, so it's probably not very good. But it's so annoying. I just can't get that clear. But even when I blow down it, it just won't. There's nothing. You can't do anything with it. And compressed air, it just forces it back out again. So something has gone on that pipe. So I'll definitely need to try and sort one of those. So right, I'm going to leave this to cool down, see what happens with the water while I go and look for a bit of exhaust. I don't have an exhaust in stock. I thought I had another one off a BRM I stripped before, but I must have got rid of that somewhere. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get the exhaust off the BRM and I'm going to offer it up to this. Now I know it fits at the cat end because I have a new cat that I put in both vehicles when they went for MOT. So I know the cat end fits fine. It's just the back box. Now I've had a look at Rimmers. You can't get turbo exhausts for this. I can't find anywhere. I'd have to go and get one made. But obviously I can get one for a ZR. So what I'm thinking is, if that exhaust bolts up to here and the back box is all right, because it was quite long on the other car as well. I don't know if you remember on the BRM, it stuck out the bonnet stuck out the bumper quite a long way. So I'm thinking maybe if it does fit, then I can just get another exhaust for the ZR, because you can get them quite easily. Or obviously end up stripping it. I won't need to. So yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll get this off the ramp as it runs now. We'll get the ZR in, get the exhaust off the ZR, bring this back in, put it up, offer the exhaust up, and then do the brakes after that. So that's what I'm going to do. That is this afternoon's job, definitely. I think I've decided. Well, as this had to come off anyway, I thought I might as well take this off, and then I can offer this up to the ZR as opposed to taking two off if they don't fit. So yeah, you can see that's definitely had it. No wonder it was blowing. So let's get this outside now that it runs and drives. Although still got a bit of a seize brake, but we'll get to that. And we'll get the ZR in here and we'll offer this up and see if it's the same. Right, I'm completely wrong. That doesn't fit at all, completely different. Follows the same sort of line, but it joins here instead of there or there. So yeah, that'd be no good. Yeah, and then obviously it goes over here. This one would join sort of on top of the axle and go out from there. So yeah, completely different. So I'm glad I didn't take this one off to try and fit it. I thought they'd be the same, but obviously not. What do I know? So the centre section's okay, but I need to sort a back box of some kind. So let's put this back down, put it away again, and then bring the 400 in and we'll sort the brakes out this time. Okay, I've got the front brakes changed. So the new calipers, the new carriers, the old discs, because they've got no wear on them. So they're all done. Obviously, I've already got HEL brake lines in orange, of course. Obviously, these aren't painted, but I will tell you why in a second. The rears are all cleaned up. They're all brand new as well, ready to go on. And I've got the matching front discs to go on the rear as well. You can see we've got adjustable arms and stuff on here as well as the HEL brake lines on the back again. So yeah, I will now start changing the rears over, I suppose. Now they're all cleaned up, so let's get on with that. Right, so the 160 brakes are on at the back. I know the discs look crap, but they'll soon clean up. But you can see the difference between the 160 brakes on the back and the original. So you can see it's quite a few mil bigger. So that is that side done. So I'm going to move over to the other side. Oh, no, it's not. I've got to put the handbrake cable on and the bracket. But I'll do that and then I'll move over to the other side. Right, we have all the brakes on. We have the brakes bled, we have the brake fluid topped up, and we have the rear bumper back on, because that was off to have that rear arch done. Now you'll notice these aren't on, but some mini wheels are. The 160 brakes don't fit under these wheels. Now the ones that were on here before were 160 brakes, but I had ground them back with a grinder to get them to clear. So what I've decided is that I've ordered some spacers, so I don't have to grind down the calipers. So if we have to change them again in the future, or when we have to change them again in the future, we can literally just swap the calipers and not have to worry. So yeah, so I've bought some 15mm hub centric spacers for the front. We'll see how they fit and where the wheel sits, and then if the wheel sits okay, I'll probably get some matching ones for the rear just to bring them out level. But for now, the mini wheels go on and obviously clear the calipers, so we can move it about. I don't think they're going to turn up today, so I won't have time to get them fitted. So I've put them on here, these on, so I can get this out and swap cars about. So let's get it outside and get it off the ramp. And there she is. She drove out, she stopped. The brakes all seem to work, so that's good. Don't look too bad on them 17-inch mini wheels, to be fair. They're the Cooper S ones. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, don't look too bad. But anyway, we're going to get the white ones back on.